Hello, everyone. It's Amy Armstrong here. Today I'm sitting down with Emma Kidman. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Emma is going to walk us through her RCP journey today. She's going to tell us a little bit about her own health condition and health complaints that she was suffering from, how she found the RCP, and what she's gone on to do with her RCPC qualification. So, Emma, take us back to prior to the RCP, before you found out the magic of minerals, and tell us what was happening for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Amy. So nice to chat with you. So my health journey really started 11 years ago when my eldest child was born. And he had quite bad eczema when he was a little baby. And then about 18 months later, I ended up having twins and they had severe eczema. And then all three were diagnosed with severe allergies when they were little. And, we did this sort of thing that you do and went to the GP and then went saw the specialists and the allergists and the dermatologists, and they just offered nothing in this space. They had no idea. They told me to go home and take antibiotics, steroids, and do bleach baths for all of the three children. And I was just, that's sort of the real turning point where I just thought there has to be another way. So I started, researching and looking into nutrition and looking into gut health. And we ended up working with an integrative doctor for the three kids. And she's not sort of root cause protocol, but we did a lot of magnesium, a lot of cod liver oil, a lot of liver, among other things, and had some great results with their health. Like their eczema literally cleared up within 6 weeks of making a few changes to their diet and taking a few supplements. And they went from head to toe red raw to head to toe completely clear. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And there's a lot of power in this. And so then sort of fast forward a few years later, I started to think about my own health issues. I'd had a fourth child by that point, and my energy was starting to suffer. And my periods were heavy. I was having very short cycles, losing a lot of blood. And so that led to me to get the diagnosis of anemia. And even with this integrative doctor, she sent me off for lots of iron infusions. I was having a lot of iron supplements. And of course, as we all know, ended up just feeling dreadful and reacting to those iron infusions. So that again was another turning point for me where I thought, okay, I need to find another way, another solution. And I'd actually seen the Root Cause Protocol website, Facebook group, in the middle of sort of getting iron infusions and them talking about iron overload and copper. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was just like, wow, what is this? It was too much. I couldn't, it was so daunting from where I was at. I couldn't even go there. But later, after more iron infusions and having a really bad reaction in hospital to one, I went back to it and had a look. And at the same time, a friend of mine at school was actually studying in the institute, and she had a similar history with iron issues, and she was like, you've got to try it, give it a go. And so as soon as I started to look into it and listen, and that's when all the pieces fell into place. And I just thought, wow, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to do. So I implemented the full protocol reasonably quickly because I'd already done a lot of the stops. We'd done so much work on our nutrition over the years. And straight away noticed improvement with energy. That was the first thing that came. And, energy is a tricky one because I had 4 kids. They were young. I was tired. And I thought, you don't know what you're meant to feel like as a mother of a busy family. But as soon as you get that energy back, then you're like, wow, okay, this is actually more like it. And it was just amazing to feel that energy lift again. And at the same time, I mean, I'd ended up with the anemia diagnosis and adenomyosis, which is it's not endometriosis where your uterine lining is grows in different areas, but it's sort of inflammation of the uterus, and it's bigger than usual, and the lining is sort of inflamed. And I had seen a surgeon for that, actually 2 surgeons, because they were going to do a uterine ablation. That was their solution to the problem. Again, I just thought no. And so all of those sort of pelvic symptoms with my period and the pain and the heavy bleeding improved as soon as I was on the full protocol. And especially after doing my first blood donation, I noticed a lot of shift in those symptoms. So then again, I just thought, wow, this is amazing. The fact that I could turn around my health by just balancing my minerals. So I started to look into the institute and study. And I had, in between my twins and my fourth child, I'd started studying nutrition just at an advanced diploma here in Sydney. But then I took some time off to have my baby. And while I was having her, the course rang me up and they said, oh, you know, we've actually taken all of the biochemistry and all of the science that you've already studied. That's been removed from the degree. People were finding that a little challenging. So, you know, you'll still get credit for what you've done, but we're not having that as part of the course requirements anymore.
Wow, interesting.
How can we study nutrition without biochemistry? So then I was looking for something that had a lot more science, and yeah, the RCP Institute certainly met that need of getting the detailed science, and yeah, I just loved it. As soon as I was listening to the lectures and the materials, I just ate it up. I just couldn't get enough of it, and yeah, I found it such a great community to be in as well.
Yeah, it really is that's part of the appeal, isn't it? The community that comes along with it. You're not just getting all this learning in a course, but you know, you get access to this community of really like-minded of people, and support in your own journey as well, because a lot of us actually found ourselves, you know, interested in becoming root cause protocol consultants because we had healing from the root cause protocol, because we had our own issues to begin with. So it's it's a great community to bounce off each other. You didn't have a science background before coming in.
No.
So tell us how you how you found the learning coming from, you know, a completely different field.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I'd always had an interest in science. I did a lot of science at school, but then, yeah, at university, I went very corporate and studied commerce and law, actually, and then ended up in a corporate career. But when I had the kids and they had the health issues, I sort of started studying again in a way, and was researching and, you know, looking into what I could about gut health and the science, and doing little courses here and there. And then sort of studying that beginning of the nutrition. I had done a little bit of the biochemistry at the beginning. But yeah, I mean, the first time I did the course, I actually ended up doing two courses back to back, because the first time I signed up, and it was 2021, and in Sydney we went into lockdown and all the schools were shut, and then I had my 4 kids at home, and so I was sort of homeschooling them at the same time as trying to get my head around it all. But in a way, I think that was good, because it meant that I couldn't obsess over the detail of the lectures. I had this very limited time to sort of do what I needed to do with the content.
Yeah.
And I just took out of it what I could, which is sort of against my personality of trying to understand everything and getting across the detail. But it was a very good discipline for me to just sort of, you know, keep learning in layers and revise what I could, and sort of get a new understanding every time I saw the material. But then I ended up doing the course again, because I had the kids all at home, and I sort of couldn't invest the time that I wanted in it. And yeah, it was when I did that second course and I had some more time that things really started to consolidate, and it was just an amazing opportunity to be able to revisit it all again with the support of the tutors, and, you know, going to the live classes again. And also just to see the difference from one course to another. You know, Morley brings new content into every live, and, you know, the mix of students is different, so the discussion goes in different places, but always sort of enlightening, and you just sort of learn so much as you go through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why so many of us have done the course, you know, multiple times. I think I've been 3 times now, and I'm certainly going to go back in the near future, because every time, you know, Morley dedicates his mornings to reading the research. So there's always new research coming in to the fold, but also it's what you take away is in layers, isn't it? You know, you can come in without that science background and get that kind of superficial surface knowledge, you know, iron bad, copper good, and roll with that. And the more you kind of integrate that information and reread, and the course notes are there for you for always and evermore, so you can always go back into the same course notes of your class and do it that way as well. Yeah, you tend to take on more information in those layers, and end up in the weeds with the rest of us.
Well, and the articles is a good example as well. Like when you first do some of the articles that are in the required reading, it's just all seems like double Dutch. It's like it's in another language. But then, coming back to it the second time, or sort of even rereading within the one group, things start to fall into place, and you start to understand more words, and you can start to get the gist of it rather than just reading the abstract and the conclusion. You can start to get into the bulk of the article, which is really nice.
Yeah, no, that's great. So tell me about the process of the tutor groups and the studying. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just sort of loved the tutorials from the beginning, meeting like-minded people. The time when I started, as I said, Sydney had gone into lockdown. It was sort of a bit of a crazy time in the world with COVID and all the stuff going on, and sort of having the support of a group where people really were coming from a similar place on health, and having the sort of guidance of Morley and Kristan. I found it really valuable at that time, and the network and the support that we had. And then in the second round, I had a completely new tutor, completely different tutorial group. But again, amazing experience. I learned so much. And we had really great discussions. All of the little role plays that you do in the tutorial, the practicing case studies, hearing everybody's stories, learning from their stories. It really helps to sort of cement your toolkit of knowledge around the RCP and what symptoms it can help, but also how to troubleshoot things when you need further support.
Yeah, absolutely. And in more recent classes, that having those live case studies has been occurring, and there's so much value in role playing your part as an RCPC and guiding people through them giving you their story of stress, and watching them put the pieces together. It's a pretty amazing thing when people start to realize that the stress of their life has caused this mineral dysregulation, and watching those light bulbs go off for everyone, it's quite amazing. So you've gone on now to become a tutor. Tell us about that role.
Yeah, so I finished group 15, and then group 16 was a sort of bigger intake. So they took in some new tutors. And I just jumped at the opportunity when Kristan asked me. I thought, to be able to access all the materials and the live classes and to be sort of really immersed in that community again was an amazing opportunity. But then also to be facilitating the tutorials. I just love, hearing people's stories and having the discussions and seeing students really have those insights and those light bulb moments around their own health, and sort of how pieces have fallen into place as they see the insights from the root cause protocol. Yeah, it's very special, I think, to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good environment just to learn about the links between all these different symptoms that people are having, and all these different labels, and all these different things people are suffering from, and to come to that realization that it's all systemic of these same problems with our magnesium and our iron and our copper and our retinol. It's to hear people's stories, which you are in a tutor group and I do dealing with clients. It's that continues to amaze me, that it can be so complex yet so simple.
And once you've heard it and you've sort of experienced it yourself, you just want to share, don't you? You want to get the word out.
Scream it from the rooftops. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's our hope doing these videos, is that people will be able to see their symptoms expressed and their conditions expressed by others who have gone on to heal from these things, and realize that maybe this is something that they might look deeper into to help themselves. So I guess just bouncing back to your own story with the RCP and with your kids, I'm curious, did you implement any of those parts with your own kids?
Yeah, I did. So they had sort of healed from their eczema, and when they were really little, they were getting sick and ear infections, and a lot of that was healed just through working with a doctor on their gut health. But there were a few sort of little niggly things that they still weren't quite healed on, and some sort of, I felt like emotionally they weren't sort of as robust as they could be sometimes. And so, I have just started very slowly with them on the root cause protocol, because their diets are pretty good. But they have magnesium, whole food C, they have some beef liver. They have the capsules, but sometimes when they see me eating my raw beef liver, I'll give them a few little bits of beef liver and they'll swallow that down. And adrenal cocktails for them. And yeah, I feel like that's just really consolidated their health. Like we haven't seen a doctor since we started with them. They've had a few little sniffles and coughs and colds, and that's it. Yeah, no, nothing serious at all. And there's been so much viruses and all these things going around at the moment, but I feel like they're in a really robust place. When they do get it, it's something that they can cope with reasonably quickly. And yeah, it's great. I think one of the amazing things for me that came out of this was being able to manage their health independently, not be relying on, we were seeing a great practitioner, but I was very reliant on her, and we all had to trot off there every 4 months and, go back and test everything and see how they're going. And for me to have the knowledge to help them, but also the network of the community, if I do come unstuck or there's something that I need help with, there's such a strong community there to help. And I just think that's so powerful. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And I think for a lot of us, we come to the RCP for our own health issues, and little do we know that it's, the things that we're doing, we can do with our whole family. And watching, just like you say, I know with my own kids, their resilience to, not necessarily not getting the colds and things like that, which is a healthy thing for our immune system to be tested, but the way that they can bounce back and how quickly they can bounce back is, I've certainly noticed a massive difference.
Yeah,
my kids as well. Yeah,
what a gift to all of us, to them and to us, to not have to health issues. Yeah,
absolutely. So what are you hoping to do now, Emma, with your newfound knowledge and your certificate from the Institute? Are you hoping to get out into the wider community and help people?
Yeah. So I've been sort of coaching a lot of friends and family, as you do with this knowledge. Once you've got it, it's very hard to not share it. So I initially started that as soon as I graduated from Group 15. It's helping people, and then as I went through Group 16, I've sort of broadened my network a little bit and have some paid clients in just in my own personal network. I haven't even sort of launched a website or any of that. That's still on the to-do list, and tutoring is sort of taking up most of my time at the moment. But yeah, it's amazing how once you start talking to people and so many people have health issues that they're struggling with and that they're not getting help from the conventional system. So even among my sort of network and school friends and friends of friends, there's plenty of people that I'm helping at the moment, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure you'll have a really big ripple effect in your own community, as well as the global community. There's so much opportunity being online that we can consult with people all over the world, which is amazing to think that you can impact somebody's life on the other side of the world. And I guess when you get to the point where you are, really wanting to delve into the business side, there is that available in the community as well, isn't there? Like there's resources there to really help support you through that part of the process.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the alumni community is great. I sort of really feel like I've only just scratched the surface of that and all that there is to offer in there in terms of business support as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Emma, I guess thank you for sharing your story and your little journey with the RCP. Just to wrap it up, I just want to ask you if you could just be succinct in a couple of sentences, maybe tell us how the RCP has changed your life.
Yeah. I mean, the word that comes to mind is freedom. Having the freedom to manage my own health and as I talked about, managing the kids' health, and feeling like I've both got the knowledge and the network to be able to help all of us and support us. I'm enormously grateful for that. It's just amazing to have that knowledge and to be able to put it into practice and for other people as well. So yeah, I feel very lucky and excited to be able to feel that way.
Yeah, freedom. I like that one. Yeah, it's it does it. It gives your health freedom back.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you, Emma. Thanks for sitting down with me and sharing. We appreciate you in the community, and good luck out there helping as many people as you can.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. So nice to chat. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.